Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. A while ago I made a video questioning if the vinyl hype is over, and I don't think the hype is fully over. I think something has changed in the world of vinyl collecting. But I got a lot of comments from people complaining, and I agree with that complaint, that vinyl has become so expensive. So right now we're nearing the end of 2024, and I'm looking back at this year and I'm doing personal lists like what are the most valuable records I found. I think it is time in the world of collecting to also put extra emphasis on those cheap records you found and that really are something you enjoy. So in this video I'm looking back at the $5 bins finds from this year, and I'm flexible with the rule. If it's under $5, it's from me in a $5 bin, because I actually also found some $1 bin records, and that is just the more fun. So here, for me, my 5 favorite $5 bins finds from 2024. And I was lucky enough that in 2024 I was allowed to travel for work because I made a film that also got a release in the United States. So I actually got to see real $5 bin stores instead of, well, here in Europe you have the €5 bin, and in the UK, United Kingdom, you have the £5 bin. So I'm taking those into account as well. But most of these records are actually from $5 bins. And at number 5, this was the $1 bin actually. Belafonte Sings the Blues. I was so thrilled to find this. Let me tell you the story. I was in San Francisco for the world premiere of my film. And there is this one street in San Francisco, and I do not know its name, but it's more to the west. And they had about 3 or 4 vinyl stores in that street. And it's a gorgeous street, and the atmosphere is good. And my colleague was walking in the area; he was doing something else. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna hunt these stores down. I already went to Amuba, and so I want to see what they have in the bins. And literally, in a $1 bin at the side of the street, I found this gorgeous first U.S. pressing of Belafonte Sings the Blues, a record by Harry Belafonte. I believe it's a 1958 pressing, and I hope you can see it. There is a strange but gorgeous it's layer around the cardboard cover. This is cardboard, but this is of a different texture. It's almost like a painting in a frame. It's almost as if this record is framed. It is very thick. The quality of this is just, they took so much effort and time into making this. Now, it's also very tight, so I'm gonna remove it cautiously. An RCA pressing, and here on the original RCA logo, I believe it's mono. This gorgeous, beautiful record by Harry Belafonte. The state of this is Fiji plus, perhaps. I heard no strange sounds, and the cover as well. It is in a gorgeous condition. I have no idea why they put such a lovely album, because Harry Belafonte is an incredible vocalist. Why they put it into the $1 bin, but I guess it just didn't sell that well. Quality is stunning. A friend of mine traded the Analog Productions reissue of this, one audiophile reissue, with me. Pretty soon, I think I'm gonna be doing a video in which I'm comparing the record, but please leave a comment if you'd like me to compare them, so I know people want to know the difference. Nevertheless, listening to this one with songs like Cotton Fields, Marianne, A Fool for You, original by Ray Charles, Hallelujah, I Love Her So, also by Ray Charles originally, a Bessie Smith cover, God Bless the Child. So many great songs. Belafonte's smooth voice, gorgeous quality. At number 5, the first US Belafonte Sings the Blues, found in a $1 bin in San Francisco. At number 4, this is something I found in Amsterdam, nevertheless, by pure coincidence. It is Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Welcome to the Pleasuredome. Now, just before I found this, a couple of months before that, I traded off my first German pressing, and I thought I was leaving for London for work, and I thought I'll find a first UK pressing there for a decent price. And I didn't. I did find some pressings, but they were about 30 or 40 pounds. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I mean, I love this album, but I thought this is somewhere between the 10 and 20 price range. I actually bought online a US pressing because I found it for 14 bucks. US mastered by Sterling. I did a comparison video of that. And this Sterling was so much better than the German. And then by coincidence, in a €5 bin here in the Netherlands, next to the Heineken brewery factory, I found this. A first UK in VG Plus condition. Staggering sound. It beats the Sterling one incredibly because there was the soundscape, the high and low has so much more frequency, so much more dynamic, so much more detail. I love the club vibe of the Sterling, but this one, last night I had a friend over. We played The Power of Love from this pressing. It's just an audiophile treat for $5. I love it. At number 4. At number 3, another $1 bin, actually from the same store in San Francisco as the Belafonte Sings the Blues one. This is Jimmy Rushing, and it's Rushing Lullabies. And I had no idea who this was. No idea who this was. I was going through the records and I saw this man, this smile, this posture. I thought, this sounds like, is this blues, is it jazz? And I got it out of the bin and I looked inside of it. And what I found really made me jump up. The inner sleeve is not the original one, but it's also a Columbia 6i, an original Columbia 6i. Now, at the time of recording and mastering records in the old days, the Columbia 6i's are an definition of quality. This comes from the golden age, and Columbia knew how to make good sounding records, and these 6i's are just a guarantee for good quality and sound. So I thought, it's a Columbia 6i. I don't know this guy, but if this man sings jazz or the blues, I want to hear this guy sing. The look in his eyes, his posture. I thought, I'm just very curious to listen to that. So, I mean, a $1 guess. You can't go wrong, right? No, and I didn't go wrong because when I got home and I put this on, I found out that this man has one of the most gorgeous voices in indeed blues and jazz. It's blues, jazz, and it's soulful, so warm, such a gorgeous, gorgeous discovery. And that is one of the reasons why I love record collecting. For $1, you can make a guess and you can find someone who fills your heart and is just a joy to the ears. I love the voice of Jimmy Rushing now. At number 3, Jimmy Rushing, Rushing Lullabies. At number 2, I'm going to do another Harry Belafonte one, but I even prefer the story of this one. Because about a year and a half ago, Harry Belafonte died, sadly, but he was of old age. And I knew of his name, but most of the records I could find of Belafonte are bad compilations, cheap 80s covers. I didn't want that. What I did know was that this is supposedly his best album. Analog Productions did a reissue of it. I actually have the Analog Productions one. I have a Speaker's Corner reissue of it. It is a fantastic sounding album. But the original, I've been looking for since he passed away. So for 1.5 years, I've been looking for an original. And in Europe, I just couldn't find one. I was curious. And why was I curious, even though I have these gorgeous reissues? Well, it's a living stereo. And a living stereo by RCA Victor was their audiophile label of the late 50s and early 60s. And I've heard people tell stories of these, of the sound quality of these originals, that is just purely thrilling. Now, I just got back a week or so ago out of New York, and I was in New York and I walked past Carnegie Hall. And I didn't find this in Carnegie Hall, but I just walked past Carnegie Hall, legendary location. And then a day later, I walked into a record store with a $5 bin. And look what I found. And this is an original, a first one, a living stereo one, gatefold, in for a record from 1959 or 19, I believe it's 1959 or 1958, something around that time. In this quality, it's Fiji Plus for $5. You can walk into the time machine and listen to an original living stereo. And I find it just after a day of walking past Carnegie Hall. I am just so happy to find this. For this price, record collecting is really fun. And you can buy historical things. And as a matter of fact, at the same store, I found my number one spot. In the same $5 bin, Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Why is this spectacular? Well, first USs of this record are not easy to find in Europe. And why is a first US specifically interesting? Well, to find one in New York for me is just very nice because you're next to New Jersey. Bruce Springsteen is from New Jersey. The record is called Born in the USA. To find it in the USA, in New York, during election time, it has a certain specific value. Also, it's still with the original seal around it. It is opened and it's played, but the seal is around it. The hype sticker's on there. And looking with the original inner sleeve, I took a look at the dead wax, and it has Masterdisk RL on the dead wax. It's the original mastering by Bob Ludwig, one of the best mastering engineers ever. So for $5, I have the original mastered by Bob Ludwig, and I just did a video comparing this to the gorgeous reissue and an original first European cut. This one is better than both. For $5, you can sometimes find gorgeous treasures. And that's what I love about collecting. So that's why I distribute to the $5 bins. And next year I'm going to do another one because we should cherish these $5 bins. Keep collecting open and cherish these raw diamonds you can find in the wild. So I'm very curious, what are your $5 bin finds from 2024? Tell me all about it in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.